Hey everyone. Yeah, you probably noticed I'm at a different location right now. It's because I'm in Riverbank taking care of some taxes. My appointment's not till 2 o'clock Pacific, so what are you going to do? But yeah, I'm in Riverbank, California right now. So I thought I'd take this time while my mom's getting her taxes done to kind of give you my thoughts on what I've heard so far about Season 9's premiere. Now, I haven't watched it yet, but I plan to do that later. Tomorrow I plan to try to record it onto DVD, just like I did last year with Season 8, kind of go 6 hours and kind of basically, get as many episodes on there as I can. So, anyway, I'm just going to give my initial thoughts on people's reactions so far, and so far, everybody's mixed reactions have been somewhat positive and somewhat mixed. I mean, you've had a few negatives in there, but so far it's kind of been like I would say 75-25 kind of percentage. Like you have 25%. It's like, well, I'll put it this way. It's more along the lines of 70-20-10. You've had 70% positive so far, 20% in the middle, 10% negative. And I think the reason being is because, from what I understand, it's basically how, certain things panned out. I mean, from what I understand, the way the positioning Twilight in her role to kind of take over as the ruler of Equestria, it's more along the lines of it's a pacing deal. In other words, Celestia and Luna, from what I understand, now again, I have to watch it myself as well as read what others have had to say. I'm going to be very curious as to what Dr. Wolf, and I'm sure he's going to have a group discussion review of the episode later on today or this weekend on his channel. But basically, from what I'm interpreting here, and again, I have to watch it later as well as get other people's opinions or see what other people say. Apparently, Twilight's going to be eased into the role of ruler. In other words, it's like Celestia and Luna, they're not gone yet. They say basically the whole decide to retire deal is basically that when they feel Twilight is ready, she's going to officially step in. It's like they're easing her into the role, but it's not necessarily like a full-time gig just yet. And I think that's what this season is going to build up to, because you got to remember what Lauren Faust originally said. She wanted to make Twilight the successor to Celestia. So I'm thinking what's going on here is Nicole Dubuque, Josh Haber, and those involved are slowly easing her into that role, but basically slowly, what I'm saying is, I'm just looking around here, they're just slowly easing her into that role right now. And that's why, according to one person saying she didn't take the throne just yet, it's because they're taking their time with her and they're building to that moment. One thing that's kind of intriguing that a lot of people pointed out was there was one thing they predicted that kind of came to fruition, and that is the fact that Grobar is the mastermind behind a lot of things. Now, is he the mastermind, or has he been the mastermind of the entire dark magic and darkness and shadows that have been around? I can't really say, but I would assume he has been. And the fact that what a lot of fans pretty much felt was going to happen did happen, and that is that he gathered basically all the villains together to kind of take down Twilight and his friend and her friends. So I will put it this way: the way they built him up, kind of just at the beginning, it kind of shows you that, as a lot of people have put it, he's not playing around. Grobar is not messing around here. What happened to Sambar at the end, a lot of people expected him to be defeated, but the way it was done is like to Grobar, it's like no big deal to me. I don't care. And apparently there's a part in there maybe that kind of has Grobar be like, yeah, you see what happened to him? See what happened to Sambar? Defy me and that will happen to you, if not worse. Now, some people have said that Grobar has made Tyrek into, or as some people have observed it, he's made Tyrek into his BITC you-know-what. So, because apparently he just gave him a tiny bit of power to kind of get him back to half strength, but just that tiny bit is enough to give him the quality of, I don't know how many ponies he sucked the magic out of during his initial run, his debut. So, overall, it kind of shows you that even with a tiny bit of magic, he's more powerful than Tyrek. Apparently, there's going to be some fun interaction between Tyrek and Cozy, and it took place as well here. So, you gotta wonder if maybe Tyrek's getting on Cozy a little bit for the fact that she became too ambitious. But it's going to be really interesting to see exactly where they go from here, you know, with those two involved. The other thing that a lot of people liked was getting a kick out of, or some people are, is Crystallis's role, and how they see that she's kind of close to insanity. She's kind of close to going, and some people put a cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs and everything. So it's going to be really interesting to see what role she'll play. A lot of people are projecting that she's going to be the one that gets redeemed, probably the first out of the villains. But we'll have to wait and see what they do with that. Overall, it doesn't seem too bad. It doesn't seem like it's a bad... To me, it doesn't sound like it's a bad start. A lot of people one person even pointed out that there's a scene in there, I think it's after Spike gets mind controlled, along with the rest of the ponies and characters, that it's Rainbow Dash that says his name first, but in a way that shows she cares very much for him. So that's kind of interesting in the eyes of a lot of fans. And if you're a Spike Dash shipper, that kind of make fuel your curiosity or your intrigueness. Overall, though, it sounds like it's a decent start. It sounds like overall, from what everybody is saying, it's a somewhat decent start. It establishes that you're going to have, basically, as some people put it, a Legion of Doom-like scenario with Grobar bringing all the villains together, but also showing that Grobar is nothing to mess with. You know, he's not to be messed with, and that he ain't playing no games, and that, you know, he doesn't care if somebody gets hurt. And again, this might be, in my opinion, this might play into Crystallis being reformed a little bit, because, you know, Grogar might want to destroy, you know, Ocellus, who's a changeling, and that might be what triggers Crystallis. We don't really know, but it's going to be interesting to see how they play this out, especially with the Frenemies episode they got planned later on. So it's going to be interesting. But it definitely shows you that they got something planned later on. Apparently D. Jones, I think the name, the voice of Grobar, is the one voicing Grobar. And the one thing some people will say that kind of brought it down a little bit was the way Sambar was portrayed. Like, you know, it was portrayed being more like, you know, hey, you got to have all your chips in place before you do anything. And he didn't have all his chips in place. He didn't play the right cards when he needed to. So yeah, there was a lot of situations apparently. So there were plot points like that, you know, some people didn't like, and of course there were some good one-liners, like, you know, Rainbow Dash, and I guess the staff decided, you know what, decided to have Ashley Ball throw this bone to the fans with the line by saying, or acknowledging, that Celestia and Luna don't really do anything in a crisis. So I can't wait to hear what Dr. Wolf and the others have to say about that. But overall, I will say again that the overall presentation, to me, it sounds like it's a decent start. May not be the very best. I mean, a lot of people are saying it is probably one of the best, if not the best premieres seasonally for the show, especially if it's the last season, or especially it being the last season. Some again were kind of mixed about it. Some liked it, some didn't. Some liked it, and some, you know, some liked certain parts. The other thing they didn't like was like the pacing and all that. And some just didn't like it due to the fact that, you know, like I said, the pacing and Sambar and all that, the way it was done. So overall, it sounds like I said, a very decent premiere overall, from my understanding. Again, we still have a lot more people having to chime in and saying and kind of see what they have to say on social media, the MLP forums, the Christian Daily, YouTube, you name it. So, but really, I just thought I'd come on here, give my thoughts on the initial reactions to My Little Pony: Friendship is Magic, the final season premiere, here, season 9 premiere. I'll probably come back later on, hopefully, to do a live, maybe a live or overall review and thoughts on the episode in general. So that's all really I want to say, guys, from here in Riverbank, California. Let me know what you guys think down below. Comment if you like. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are on what your thoughts are on some of the initial reactions, and what were your initial reactions when you first saw the episode, the premiere. Let me know down below. Comment if you like. Again, I'll probably be back down the line later with a probably full-on review when I get a chance. So let me know what you guys think, and I'm out.